We're going to do some work on stance and guard. I want to bring it back to basics. We want to make sure everyone's got the correct movements with their footwork, the way they move, but also with their shapes as well. So I'll borrow Richard first. So with, actually maybe get you next to me first. So with our stance, everyone put your feet together. Just to get very clear on exactly how it works, you start off by bending the knees, but when you bend the knees, you don't actually put the pressure down into the floor. So let's do it the wrong way first and put your pressure down into the ground, like put the weight of your knees down into the ground, and then try to take a step forward with that weight going down and feel how your body feels, yeah? Yeah? Really sink that weight in the knees down, yeah? And then try to feel how it feels, yeah? Now from here, rather than sinking the weight down, think of the hip joints turning and think of it like your legs are moving as though they want to kick. So this is turning and it's like these want to open up for a kick, but keep them where they are still. So the feeling will be as though the knees are opening forward, yeah? You feel the difference there? Now from here, take a step. Which one feels easier? Second one. Yeah? Consensus, yeah? Nothing's wrong, okay. That's the feeling you want to have in your knees in your stance. So let's measure it out from here. So we bend the knees, but when we bend the knees, it's an opening of the knees. And then we pivot on the heels of the feet to bring the toes out as far as possible. And then on the balls to get that triangular stance. So then we'll practice this here again. Put the pressure down into the knees again, and then take a step forward on that. Feels kind of awkward, right? You feel that, yeah? And now, rather than coming down into your knees, feel as though the hips are turning and your legs are expanding forward like you want to kick. You feel the difference there, guys? That's what you want to feel in your legs, yeah? And then take a step from there. Yeah. Yeah. Difference? What feels better or easier? Second one. Okay, good. That's the feeling you want to have in your legs. It's quite easy to get caught in putting the pressure downward. So that's where the stance is for the feet part. Now from here, for your hands, we put the hands on our hips and then you bring them up in towards the center. So they're touching like a triangle at the top point there. Make sure that your hands are working as a plank all together as one piece. So not separate pieces. You know, sticks together are stronger than if they're all separated, yeah? So keep them together and bring one hand back. The back hand should be higher than the elbow. Do we know why? Any suggestions? Hey? Yeah? Yep, so this one can come up over it, that's right. Also, that means that if this hand is trapped down here, this one's more likely to be free to hit. Whereas if it's lower, you see I've trapped both, 2 for the price of 1. So that means if you're moving it around, you want to keep it slightly higher than the back elbow. Okay? Now, so toes pointed, knees pointed, everything in this shape. Now we're going to do some exercises on this. So as you can see, Richard squares up to me. The first exercise we're going to do is we're going to move around and he's going to chase. With your stance and guard, this is like, it's shaped like a triangular prism, as you all know. Like my favorite chocolate, what is it? Anyone know? Like the Toblerone, that's right, 10 points for all of you. So you can imagine you're a Toblerone on its side. Now in this exercise first, I'm the bad guy, he's the good guy. I'm gonna move around and he needs to stay locked onto me. He needs to stay facing towards me, yeah? And I'm gonna move, I'm gonna try and lose him. Freeze there. The person moving can call freeze at any time, and what you're trying to do is catch them out when they're not pointing towards you. So I'll be the Wing Chun guy and you be the bad guy running, yeah? And just call me freeze, yeah? Call freeze? Freeze. Okay. What's wrong with my stance? Exactly. That's the most common mistake, is that the legs are off in the wrong directions. But this exercise is to train you to make sure these are always aimed into the center. Why do we want our legs pointing to the center always? Yeah, so you can kick straight up the center. Yeah. So you can, what do you say? Kick him in the nuts. That's right. So you can kick him in the nuts, but also naturally, if you look at, if he points his toes in towards my center, and you go to raise one of your legs to kick me, see how naturally it wants to kick me. If he points them outward, and now raise your leg, yeah. See how naturally it wants to go off that way. So it gives you the time advantage in that it takes you straight up the center. Okay. So you get the exercise, one person moves around, try to lose your partner and then call freeze on them and you're going to try to catch them out. This is to drill you into getting your legs pointed at the center. Okay, any questions? All right, grab a partner and have a go. 2, 4, 6. All right, you with me? Let's go.
Literally walk around the whole place.
Freeze.
Okay, so you gotta follow me.
They change.
Sorry, no, I know. It's just
I'm
you
moving
said
my
freeze, so
center.
I literally just froze.
Yeah, good. Let's see, I can catch that one.
Freeze.
I'm trying to catch you out. All right, let's go. Freeze. Good.
Freeze.
Freeze.
You haven't said anything, so I'm still allowed to move, right?
Freeze. All right, give your partner a turn.
I'm getting this on video.
Freeze.
Again, this.
Yes. Yes. One to me.
2 actually. You got that before.
Freeze. Yeah, but you've probably scored a few too, or you have. Freeze.
Out of all of this, the worst part of this exercise is holding up my arm.
Okay, bring it in. Bring it in. How'd you go, team? How'd you go? Did you get caught out at all? Yes. Yes. Okay, that's a simple exercise you can practice about keeping especially your legs. The arms are a lot easier because they're right in front of you. Now, the next component to add on to that exercise now is that Richard stays with me. Move you around. You call freeze again. And then this time you want to check the stance. You want to see if you push this in, is it going to collapse on top, like meaning is their guard on correctly? Also, you can check their center. So everyone knows what centering is, right? Tai Gong, feel the center. So you can test their center, meaning push some pressure on the belly and the upper body, but also look to see if it's in alignment or not. Because sometimes when we're chasing around, we get carried away and we start giving our weight off from the upper body. So when they say freeze, don't cheat and freeze and they go, oh, that's called cheating. Don't do that. Yeah, stay stuck so that you can be caught out on what your holes are in your stance and guard as you move. Get the idea, team?
Got it.
Alrighty, change partners around and so we go.
Who wants to go with him? You get a lot more practice with John. Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, Steve, let's do this. Ready? Okay. Good.
Yeah, you just move around and say freeze whenever you want.
Freeze.
Oh, sorry.
Pretty good. Stay there.
Start moving here.
So let's do. Yeah.
I'll just wait till you say
Looking
go.
good.
You have to check.
Pressure. Yeah. If you had the upper body started to go forward, that means there was already a slight forward lean. Yeah. Whereas if you center yourself again and let everything rest down, center, rest, and center, and rest, and center, rest. See how straight away it feeds into the spine now? When you put pressure on the body, it'll give in the direction it's already going physically. So if you like lean backwards a tiny bit, yeah, I start to put pressure on that. Feel how your body will want to go backwards. You feel that? Or if you lean forward with your shoulders and I put pressure on it. Yeah. Whereas if you center yourself and just think centering, see
Jumped over and said freeze. I was like, oh.
what we're getting at? So really what you want to be thinking about here is center and connecting these and these to me. So you're feeling centered and pointing, centered and pointing, centered and pointing, which is the state. Okay. All right, let's go.
I'm like,
Freeze. Good. Let's get these together. Good. These together. Yeah.
I pretty feel what it is.
It looks a lot better
And I
already.
know when it's gone wrong
Only
because
very
like, right
slightly
now it's
forward.
back
Good.
because
Let's go.
it's sticking out.
Give your partner a turn if you haven't.
Yeah, you know.
Freeze. Okay, good. You're stuck there.
I was waiting for you to start prodding me, testing my state.
Freeze. Good. Kind of caught you in between there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, good. That's pretty good. Now as I put pressure on that, let it all release around your center. So bring your awareness into your spine. Yeah, let the upper back release down, release down. Yeah, there you go.
That's not this
And now I can put a buttload of pressure in. Whereas if you put a little bit of pressure back to the upper back on purpose in the belly, you can feel how much there's a bit of stress on the body now to do it. Feel that?
Yeah.
Now if you just really sink back that awareness into your center, let everything release down. Yeah. Now it just goes through the muscle and into the
You
spine.
corrected that the last time after I said freeze.
Good stuff.
Okay, great.
Cool. Alrighty.
Freeze.
Bring it in, team.
Your hands are great. It's the feet. Everyone's got them.
So, observations or questions?
I did tap dancing, I'll be alright.
It's interesting, like at first I was trying to walk around like this and it felt really unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but like the second time I was walking normally, but then, so then your feet are never really in. You're not going to really be walking like down the street like this, are you? But
John does.
maybe it's like,
Just like this. I just hop.
maybe it's just like something if you ever get into a situation, you could just like slightly move your feet and then like, it might be a kid get in state and then just take it from there. I don't know.
Well, you're right. It's training the energetic state of that. So in a way, your physical body can, or not in a way, yes, meaning your body can be doing anything eventually. Like when you do Chum Q, you actually turn and the body's off and it's different. When you do Bill G, when you do the dummy, when you play around, your body can be any position. But it's like you want your energy body to be still doing this. So your energy body's always in this stance, connecting to that center, focused in that way. So even if I'm like this and Stephen's my opponent, everything is still energetically connected there. So you still have that Toblerone energetic state or condition doing that.
Because when my feet were in, I felt like my whole body was like moving forward. But then when I realized my feet wasn't, I felt like just this part was connected to the component, not the whole thing.
Yeah.
So maybe if she kicked me, I might not have.
Reacted with the
Yeah.
legs. Yeah, definitely.
But I think I would have seen like a punch or whatever coming. But it's just interesting.
Yeah, wake up the legs is another way of putting it. You wake. This helps you to be more conscious of your legs. This exercise you probably started to notice as well. Any other observations or questions on that exercise?
I just want to call out what Sissy was saying, that if you find that you can't do this as easily, it's probably, from my experience, because you're biasing your weight towards the front as you're walking. Because that's what we naturally do when we walk, where the body is sort of ahead when we walk. So if you're just standing, think about it. If you're like this, you're going to want to spread it out a bit more to stabilize, whereas you're back centered.
I just feel like this feels really
It is.
unnatural, and I can still balance quite well. Like, and I think from doing all the spine centering stuff, it's just because when we do this, we're normally standing doing something.
Exactly.
But when we're walking, it's like my feet just naturally go.
But that's what I'm trying to explain. When you start walking, we don't practice that much, right? So you have that forward bias, so you try to go out a bit more to balance.
That's an interesting point you bring up, and I want to come back to something on that in a second. But if we take what Sissy's talking about there, and you actually see right now, you can see that Sissy's stance is pointing to here, right there. But actually, I'm here. So really, those should be pointing into my center. So it's actually too
far in.
Yeah. Okay. If you make them broader, if you widen your stance a bit more, and now point them into my center. Yeah. Still not wide enough. Yeah. So those should actually finish here. That's much better. Yeah. Now from here, if I take a step back and you follow my center, does that feel as awkward?
No.
Yeah. It should feel natural. Yeah, it should feel natural. Your natural walk should be your fighting walk, and your fighting walk should be your natural walk. Because then you're just in the state and condition and position to actually get straight into a combat situation. But at first, when you are in the stance, you do feel like, hey, do I have to walk like this? No, you don't. Yeah. So if Sissy's walking around, you walk around, and I'll follow you. Yeah.
Oh, backwards?
Yeah, or whatever, yeah. I just keep aiming them at you, so I kind of feel like I'm just walking naturally, like I'm just stepping, yeah? With a slight inward tone, just slight inward. Does it look like I'm walking awkwardly? Yeah. I think we overcomplicate it sometimes as well. Yeah. Coming back to his point as well, what you'll notice if you start to pay attention when you walk, if you want to start making this a practice throughout the day, is that I've noticed that, help me out here and look and observe yourself and others during your week. When someone's very future focused, they seem to be very front heavy. If someone's very past focused, they tend to be back heavy. And the ones that are very present seem to be centered. That's what I've noticed, just in paying attention to bodies and knowing what people are like. And I'll watch them in their movement in classes. I started to notice a pattern. And like even people that were always worried and thinking and anxious about the future, they tend to have sore shins often. Because if you lean your weight forward on purpose now, feel how the pressure goes into your shins? You feel that? Yeah. I still don't know if that's a fact, but I've just observed that and I'm wondering. So help me out and we can have a look into that one. All right, that leads to your point, how you were saying how, people tend to be, yeah. Okay, any other observations or questions on that exercise? All right, next component. I'll borrow Richard again. So there's this stance and guard on. Now with this one, the objective here is to maintain your stance and guard when under pressure. So things to think about. Center yourself, so Tai Gong, what else? When we do our center.
White light.
White light in the spine, what else?
Waterfall.
You can use that, that's the state stuff. But when we talk about centering, we speak specifically of Tai Gong, feel and see the center. So he wants to maintain that, and the other components of it, of the state, is to, you know how we talk about seeing the other person's center? You want these, especially like 4 eyeballs, looking at my center, so that when I apply pressure to Richard's guard, it maintains its space. Because we don't want this to happen. This means he's trapped and I can hit him, or it means I'm hitting him. So you want to be keeping your space, keeping this space in front of you by maintaining the focus of these at your opponent's center. Cool? So he maintains his center and focus on my center from his 4 eyeballs, his hands and feet. And then what the partner's going to do, we're going to move around and he has to stay focused on me. But this time you're going to apply pressure into his body. Every so often you apply pressure. And that's okay that he's going backwards. That's better than being crushed, yeah? And then you can even just start walking around, which is also fine, yeah? And calling freezes as well, to make sure they're both in the center as well. Okay? So, things you think about if you're the practitioner. Center yourself, keep everything pointing at their center and keep the hands and feet looking at them, maintaining your space. The other person moving around and applying pressure into their guard, just into the forearms of the guard. Make sense? All right, grab a different partner and have a go, please. Ready?
You first this time.
So am I following you?
Yep.
Okay, so get into your stance. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, can you do the physical one?
Good.
Okay, so feet pointed in. Feet pointed in. Breaks. Your sound is higher than the elbow.
Freeze.
Right now, it's at the same level when you're guarding. No, I'm saying you were. So now you're not. Before you were.
Yeah.
Right? So make sure that this is higher. Just enough, right? Even if it's like part way. At least halfway, you still have.
Don't walk back, ride it. So let my force make you ride back. Please.
So it's going to be that elastic bubble, balloon-ness.
Do you have coffee?
Oh, yeah.
Smell like coffee.
I had a pistachio chocolate.
Don't lose the guard.
Give your partner a turn now.
Don't lose your guard.
Freeze.
This hand guard. Advancing it a lot. Just a bit further. Okay. Freeze.
So what are you saying about your feet now?
Okay, it's because we're jumping around and moving around and trying to call you out. Freeze.
Freeze.
So if you were centered, you would be
You're like a robot.
Sorry.
stepping back. I'm noticing just as I
Supposed to
push
be
on
frozen.
you, you tip back. right? Which means you're top heavy. Right? Sink into it a bit more. Because if I were to push it from the top, you wouldn't be tipping. It would just be the whole center from here.
Oh, good work. Sneaky. Freeze.
Shit. It just naturally wants to come to you. All right, change partners. Keep going with this exercise.
No, change partners.
Guard up.
Me too.
Nice haircut. Just keep soft. I mean, you're really thinking about this. Yeah, good. Keep the guard out. Keep the guard out. And then spine tall, and then really let go of any tension. Let go, let go. Yeah, good. And then ride this incoming force. Just ride it. Good. Let me.
A little more naturally.
Freeze.
Because that was in the momentum of going back, and I was
Get
like,
these working together. Soften them up and get them working together. So not that. Just can you get this one working with that one? Is that easy or not really?
Which?
So rather than this, can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just so they're working together as one. Yeah.
That's the broken hand.
Ah, okay.
It's all good.
Okay. Give your partner a turn. Give your partner a turn.
All the weight into the bottom. You sink it in.
Freeze.
In between. Right.
Very relaxed step back.
Freeze. You're not resisting.
No, I'm not supposed to. I'm just riding the force. I'm keeping. The idea is to keep the space and ride the force. Yeah, you know, because if, for example, if you put your guard up and you resist with muscular strength and you push, here now I can use that against you. Yeah. Yeah, you want to give up force and ride the incoming force. Go with it. Go with it. This exercise, we're going with it. There are different exercises, sure, where, you know, for example, you're pushing on towards me. Push, push, push. Really push me. Push me. Really push. Yeah? Yeah. So, where you do want to just give it back to them. But in this exercise, we're thinking more about riding.
And staying in balance.
Yeah, and keeping your space. Keeping balance, riding the force, and keeping your space.
If you were pushing, you do this. You want power. No, I don't want
Freeze.
Because I'm pushing, so I don't want power.
Get that in?
It's all good.
Go again.
Staying centered the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
that's it, Pat.
Freeze.
All right. Did everyone have a turn?
Yeah.
Did both partners have a turn? Yeah. Good. All right. What do we got? 2, 4, 6. Bahuna. Any questions on that exercise? Giggles. You got the giggles. That's fine. Okay. Now this time, guarding up. This is once again for stance and guard. You're going to do this actually stationary. Now, this exercise is just to get the partner to, you can use one side at a time though, I don't want you to use both because then you can do this, the target. So he wants to follow with his guard, then every so often from here you can come in to attack the center. Yeah. To attack. When you're attacking, you want to try and attack their balance. Your objective in your stance and guard is to stay balanced and centered. Yeah. Maintain the shapes and keep focused on your target. Yeah. So as I move around, he stays and follows where it goes, and then every so often you want to go in and attack. Move it around the other side. Yeah. Just move it around. Now, careful here, guys with the pads. No hitting straight onto the fingers, please. Aim to the underside or the top side of the forearm. I don't want any broken fingers today. Who'd like to break their finger?
No, me, thank you.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is once again a stance and guard exercise to make sure you stay focused at the target, maintain your balance, yeah, and ride the incoming force. We're not trying to fight the force, we're trying to ride with it. Make sense? Alrighty, grab a couple of pads and a partner and have a go. Pat, go with you. Guard up.
Oddballs.
I'm partnering with you then. Yeah.
So stay focused. So you want to focus at it. Put your guard at it. So point at it. Point at it. Point at it. So you're following the guard.
With this.
Yeah. With your guard. So you're following the. Yeah. You can move around a bit if you want. If you want to. Hey? You're just keeping the guard up. It's just a guard exercise. You want to do some punching today, huh?
Oh yeah, that's right.
So this is your target, right?
But what should I do with both hands or just one?
The whole body.
The whole body.
Imagine me being this target. Is this making it easier for you?
You can call freezes as well if you want. But this is the center though. You got to remember the pad's the center.
No, it's good. You're supposed to switch hands.
Oops. Oh, nice. Not again.
Head on.
Cut that part out.
Okay. I'm like trying to follow your center.
No, that's actually good.
No.
Because the exercise is to follow the path.
All right, give your partner a turn.
Thanks for checking.
So you double turn.
Oh,
Just use the guard, keep it on center. So you want to, rather than when I make contact, rather than fighting against me, fight against me on purpose, fight against the contact like that. If you're doing that, push against it, that means if I take the hand away, you've opened yourself up. You just want to be maintaining the shield.
Okay.
It's really a maintenance of the shield as opposed to fighting it. So you don't want to reach out for it.
Okay.
Not that. You just stay there. Just stay there. Yeah. So that just stay there so you can absorb the force.
You
Yeah.
have to freeze.
Yeah. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. Just absorb. Yeah, like this. You can absorb the pressure in. Yeah.
That's not. That's not.
Could be a little bit more in.
Oh, definitely.
I feel like
Because I have the same problem as you. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just can't walk like that. Not sure.
but I feel like maybe my stance needs to be a bit wide.
I would have had to be following like that.
It's alright, it's up.
Wasn't. We're just like, so I just followed
Freeze.
you.
This is the center. Yeah.
Too far too.
Yeah. So just focus at it. So turn the feet and everything. So everything should be focused at it. So your guard is focused. This is your target. Yeah. So stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay.
Right.
Everything. So even your knees and toes, stay with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just already locked on. All right. Cool. Hold it there. Pads to the side. Both partners had a turn, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Next exercise. Brilliant. Any questions on that one? All of this is just to drill into you your stance and guard, which is the foundational positions for your combat. Yeah. Now, this time, moving around. What you're trying to do is maintain your stance, balance, shapes and positions of the guard, and then you're going to pull the other person now. So moving around, pull. Yeah. See how it maintains his balance and rides the force. You're trying to use as little force as possible and just stay locked on. Kind of like there's a string attached here, and as I move, he's just flowing with me. And then when I pull on that, it just goes naturally. Yeah. So you're keeping your stance, your balance, and your guard as they pull on you. So you're not letting the arms go out too far. You're not letting them get pushed in. You're just going with. Make sense? All right. Grab a partner and have a go. Then we're going to put them all together.
Sorry.
We haven't been.
Yeah,
I haven't been with him or him. Alright. Am I pulling and prodding you, right?
Trying to concentrate on this left.
You can call freezes again as well.
Freeze.
Good. Yeah.
Pulling might feel a little more natural than the pulling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's this idea
You
of
can
resisting.
see exactly. You see how when I'm pulling, it comes straight into my center. That's good. That means everything's already coming straight into me. Give your partner a turn.
Wait, which hand is it? It's
The backhand's slightly higher.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not even a rule of thumb. It's just a little tactic, yeah? Because you can have it lower as well. Doesn't matter. Because you can, as it gets trapped, you can free it or pull it around, yeah? What time do you have to go? In 2 minutes. All right, I'm going to do a standing energy meditation anyway. After this next exercise. All right, we'll level up this exercise now. So what you're going to do, so keep with your same partners, we're going to do push and pull now. So pushing and pulling, yeah? Pushing, pulling, you can even go, and pushing, pulling, freezes, and also striking into their guard. Push, pull, freezes, striking into guard. So you're putting a lot of pressure on now, and keep the pressure up high. So just keep it going. Let's go.
Watch the fingers going into people's throats.
Yeah. Don't pull their hands into your eyes. It's a good idea.
What was that?
Trying to get. Yeah, because it was going like this.
Yeah, I kind of relaxed the third hand, right?
Give your partner a turn.
Still a bit of pressure going on today.
One more exercise. Do you have to run?
Yeah, 3 times.
Okay, cool. Okay, bring it in. I want to get one last exercise in so you guys get a feeling for it. If you guys could just come over here quickly. Now what we're going to do, turn towards me. Partner's going to set up like just a guard like this in front of you. And what your partner's going to do now with the guard is you're going to just walk into them, yeah? And just walk into them, thinking, okay, I want to keep my center, keep balance, and this is just practicing the cracking through of the Toblerone shape, of the Wing Chun shape. So from here, you crack through. Now the things to think about is, as you make contact with them, you want to be thinking about connecting to his balance, so I'm upsetting his balance, keeping control of both arms and maintaining the intention to strike through, yeah? Meaning, I'm not coming in like this, obviously, and I'm also not coming in like this, meaning I'm not connecting to him. So I'm centered, I'm thinking of his center so that when I contact, it upsets his balance. It's like you're shocking them back by jamming a wedge into their guard. Okay?
Strawberry jam.
Get the idea? All right, so if we grab a partner over here, I just want you to work backwards across the room, work that way.
We're changing partners?
Yeah, change partners.
Hey.
Hello.
Are these
Let's go.
guys cracking through?
Yeah, guys on the window side, cracking through our guard. Let's go.
Upper guard.
So we'll go.
Upper guard first.
Like that.
Okay, at the moment, you're pushing with your shoulders. Let the shoulders relax. Point towards here. And come through that way. Yeah, go, step. So you're thinking of your spine walking into their spine. And your hands are still aimed at the center.
Well, no, it's just different because I actually learned.
Question. So go again, what's the question?
So as the hands come through.
Yeah, this one will be contacting that arm, and this one will be contacting that arm. Yeah, and just walking straight through, yeah. So it's like you're trying to you're keeping the guard position and stepping the body into it, yeah? Without having to do this part yet, it's a later part. Yeah, so just stepping your wedge in. No, they might look like that if you're stepping through. This can happen. See how it looks like I'm actually pushing that, but I'm not. This is just allowing me to have that opportunity. If that's what you saw from before I was running, you know? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Just that.
Hello.
Center. Think about this moving forward. Body like this moving forward. Don't do this. Just think I'm stepping forward. And then top half just going. Yeah, there's a lot more pressure.
Once again.
I like the shift.
Center yourself. Think of your spine connecting to Stephen's spine with these and these as well. So spine, hands, feet. Yeah. See how like bounced him off? Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Do just like that slowly, you can
We keep
generate
going?
more pressure. And maybe take a smaller step.
Yeah, keep going for a minute, yeah. 'Cause if you haven't had a turn yet, give your partner a turn. If you haven't had a turn yet. Have you both had a turn? Okay. Have a turn, Richard, if you haven't. We're going to finish up there.
Yeah, that's it.
Walk forward.
Spine tall, face me, walk forward. So this. Face me.
More kilos.
No, I understand. But I'm actually staying light.
Keep balance, keep balance. So
If you can actually
not this.
Just
Not this.
Right? Because you're already pushing with more force
balance.
than when you were back there when you first started. Right?
Very good. All right, bring it in. We're gonna, last exercise we're gonna do is just gonna do a standing energy meditation in stance and guard. Do you have any questions about this exercise before we do that? No? Okay, we'll grab a spot and we'll do it. Feet together. Take some deep breaths. And start with centering. So softly draw up Tai Gong. Feel your center. See white light in your whole spine. So centered, calm. And now have those knees opening up forwards as you then point the toes outward, pivoting from the balls, and then point the heels out, pivoting, from the heels and pivoting from the balls to get that triangular stance. Get that feeling of openness to the knees as you maintain the feeling of centering. Take deep breaths and feel centered in your body. Now bringing your hands up into the guard position. So you're in stance and guard. You want to try and feel like the whole body is hanging off that center. So the muscles of the shoulders, biceps, triceps, forearms and hands, you maintain the shapes and the positions, but the muscles release on the structure. You let the muscles relax onto your bone structure with centering, with Tai Gong, seeing and feeling your center as the pillar, as everything resting on that. As you now move into the feeling energy whilst in your guard. So feel the whole energy body, feel everything. From the toes to the head, whilst maintaining that feeling of centering and balance. If you ever feel that your shoulders get too tight, then you can put your hands down by your side. That's up to you, it doesn't matter. And now start the sinking energy. So from the crown of the head, start to sink the chi all the way down, down, down through the whole body down to the floor, like an internal shower. Everything releasing and relaxing, letting go. So we're centered, sensing the whole body and sinking the chi down. So take a few deep breaths and anchor this state where you feel those three components, feeling your whole body, feeling the whole center, sinking, sinking, sinking throughout the whole body, that internal waterfall. And now awakening the idea energy. So visualize white light in your whole body. And that line of light in front of you. Try to feel a sense of alertness and readiness as you maintain this state. Feel your center long, open. Feel your mind calm. Your emotions balanced and in harmony. Your body feels free of tension, released and relaxed. And maintain this state with you for as long as you wish. Opening up your eyes. Okay, thank you.